Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another video here today on the channel. What I thought I'd do in today's video is something fun that I rank every single boss in Pac-Man World 1 from worst to best. And this is how I'm going to be ranking them by. I'm going to be ranking them by how much difficult these bosses are. Now before we hop into this, I just got to say this first, that this list is my very own opinion. So yeah, you may heard me that I'm going to be ranking these bosses from worst to best. This list might shock some people. Oh yeah, I almost forgot to mention this. I'm going to be skipping the chase scenes where you've run away from Mummy and Anubis Rex, and also where you run away from Windbag with his cannonball, basically to the point where you fight the boss. So I just want to clarify that. With all that said, let's get ranking. Coming in at number 6, the bottom of my list is Windbag. Come on, y'all people saw this coming. Windbag, I get it. He's the first boss you fight, basically in the first world. But come on, he's not really that much of a challenge. He's piss easy. Which makes sense because, you know, he's the very first boss you fight. But still, I think Windbag is easily probably the worst boss in this entire game. There's really nothing else to say about this boss, really. Besides hitting the button, raising your target up, and throwing his cannonball back at him, that's how you damage him in the first place. So yeah, Windbag, you're a good first boss, but you're not a challenging one as well, so you come in at number 6. Coming in at number 5 on my list, it has to be Krome Keeper. Krome Keeper actually kind of picks up a little bit of a difficulty compared to the first world, or not first world, the first boss, which is Windbag. The only purpose Krome Keeper serves is just kicking those boxes and trying to hurt you. He doesn't add no new moves or phases if you keep hurting him in the same way. I feel like Krome Keeper fits perfect in this spot right here, just because not the boss itself is not hard, but it's the fucking magnets and those goddamn steam coming out of those buttons. The only way to protect yourself from those steams is you gotta be Metal Pac-Man. While you're being Metal Pac-Man, you also have to dodge these fucking magnets because they're so fucking annoying. They're a challenge to this fucking boss. Not to fucking mention, you also have to fucking speedrun this boss, because if you're not fast enough, all these buttons are gonna reset. For some reason, they have a timer. If you're not fast enough, all those buttons you just stomp are just gonna reset, all of them. And the middle button, that doesn't come up until you press all 4 of these motherfuckers. And once you hit the 5th and final button before the timer expires, you can finally hit the boss, and you have to repeat this process over and over. Like I said earlier, Krome Keeper just doesn't have any new moves or phases to give you. He just does the same shit, but I guess he just gives you more metal boxes, but that's it. So Krome Keeper actually fits perfect in this spot. He's not a challenge and he's not easy neither. He does take time, but it's just dragged. So I think Krome Keeper comes in at number 5. Coming at number 4 on my list is the Clown Prix, or the Clown Race. I was gonna put this at number 5, but then I realized this is actually a bit of a tough one than Krome Keeper, especially you have to race up against 15 different clowns, and 16 is the lowest place you can go, which is you. This boss, if you even consider this as a boss or a mini game, but yeah, this boss is kind of bit a challenging one, really, because, you know, it's the race. In order to complete this boss or defeat this boss, you have to enter first place. But guess what? These motherfucking clowns are going to make sure you don't enter first place, because you have to go up against 15 different clowns. But if you make it to the top 5, this boss does kind of get a bit of an ease, because, you know, all the clowns are left behind. The tricky part about this boss is, you know, like I said earlier, getting to first place, you got to make sure you don't fall off the fucking cliff, and you got a power pellet that will give you a boost. But in my opinion, the power pellet is just a risky reward. It can either help you into first place, or it could just fuck you up and fall off the cliff. Oh yeah, and I forgot to mention this, steering left and right kind of takes a while, and it's also slippery, so you got to be careful with that shit. Oh yeah, and there's also bombs that they leave on the track that can also fuck you over. But for all that said, I think the Clown Prix or the Clown Race actually kind of fits great in this spot. So the Clown Race comes in at number 4. Alright, now we're starting to head into these bosses that really picks up a spike in difficulty. So coming in at number 3 on my list is Anubis Rex. Jesus fucking Christ. If you thought these bosses I mentioned earlier were easy and not much of a challenge, man, you haven't seen shit from this boss. This boss right here is gonna make you get stuck on the second world until the day you fucking die. You may be wondering what makes him a fucking challenge. Okay, so to damage this boss, you have to revel 4 times on these square tiles. Those are revels, by the way. You have to revel these motherfuckers 4 times, and then once you open them, or revel all of them, his heart will open. And then boom, he takes damage. Now the fucking tricky part is, the more damage you do to him, he's gonna throw more obstacles at you. Oh yeah, did I also mention that you have to try not to fall in the fucking lava? Man, I have a love and hate relationship with this boss. I appreciate the challenge that Anubis Rex gives me, but then again, it's like some of these are really unbalanced or unfair. Like, I'm being dead ass. How the hell are you supposed to dodge all this incoming shit coming at you? Like, holy hell. But still, I fucking love Anubis Rex. He honestly gives me a fucking boss. He basically gives me some type of vibe or feel that if I don't defeat him, I'm gonna be stuck in the second world. And once I defeated him, I felt like I just escaped hell. So yeah, with all that said, Anubis Rex, I fucking love you and hate you at the same time. So Anubis Rex comes in at number 3 as probably one of the difficult bosses in this game, and also one of my favorites as well. Number 2 on my list is my boy King Galaxian. Oh my god, this boss's theme, I love it. And I know this might throw some people off, but I also love part 1 of King Galaxian. You're basically playing Galaga, and also the music. It's basically Superman's theme, but I guess a Pac-Man version of it. With the music out of the way, part 1 basically makes you go through space, shooting these alien goons and dodging meteor shower or rocks, or whatever people like to call it. And then after all that, you make it on top of the spaceship, also making your way through these alien goons and electric trap coming at you. And once you make your way up there, King Galaxian is waiting for you and is gonna give you an ultimate boss showdown. King Galaxian is one of the hardest bosses in this game as well, probably behind Anubis Rex. But holy shit, the fight with King Galaxian, goddamn, you're gonna be here for a while as well. Besides pressing the fire button on your fucking controller and how fast your fingers can fire them, this boss is still challenging even if you fucking press the fire button as fast as you can. Oh yeah, once again, the music. I know that probably throws some people off, but I just had to mention it. Anyways, back to the boss. Man, King Galaxian may have the same phase over and over by shooting each engine down, but man, each phase just gets longer and longer. Like, I'm telling you, like, the first 2 phases are not bad, but when it comes to the 3rd and 4th, trust me, your fingers will get tired at this point. And once you destroy the 3rd engine, this last phase, my god, you're gonna have like a fucking Star Wars battle right now. So yeah, King Galaxian may be the 2nd hardest boss in this game, but I fucking love this boss, and he comes in at number 2.
You disappeared my plans for the last time, Pac-Man!
Now coming at number 1 on my list on the best bosses of all time in this game is my boy Toc-Man. Come on, y'all people saw this coming, and I'm pretty sure all your people out there will pretty much agree with me on Toc-Man being number 1 on my list. Toc-Man is hands down easily one of the best boss fights, or heck, maybe even the final boss fights in any of the Pac-Man World games. Oh yeah, once again, the music. I just had to mention the music once again. Do I really need to explain myself on why Toc-Man is the best boss fight in Pac-Man World 1? Besides King Galaxian having one of the unique boss fights, this boss fight right here is also unique as well. You're basically fighting yourself, an imposter version of Pac-Man. You're using all your power-ups against him while he tries to kill you with your own power-up as well, or power moves, whatever, or attack. He's also one of the only bosses that feels like a fast pace compared to the other ones. So the first phase has you throwing a bunch of pack dots at him while he's throwing them back at you as well, but you have to collect them and then boom, you fucking hit him with his own pack dots. Once you get past the first phase, the second phase is going to have you move around dodging his shockwave, which is his butt bounce, and which also that you have as well, but you have to time yourself so that you don't get hurt by it. And the reason why I said timing is because you have to time on when you're going to hit the button and when Toc-Man is going to do his shockwave, because if you don't, you're going to take damage and that will easily hurt you. Once you hit all the buttons, you're able to damage him with the butt bouncer once again. And the last and final phase is that Toc-Man is going to do his Rev Roar, and you honestly got to be careful with this, because if you're not careful with it, he's going to launch you off the fucking stage. And once you die, you have to repeat all of this nonsense again. And that's just, oh, what a fucking boss mechanic right there. Toc-Man may do the rev roll over and over in the last phase, but he will sometimes do his shockwave, so you also have to be careful with that as well. With all that said, Toc-Man easily comes in at number 1 on my list on the best boss fight in Pac-Man World 1, and also probably one of the best final boss fights in any of the Pac-Man World games. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, that is my list on every single Pac-Man World 1 boss from worst to best. And I gotta say, I really enjoy some of these bosses, and I really don't enjoy some of them as well, especially Windbag. Like, Jesus Christ, that boss is way too easy. But yeah, that was my list on every single Pac-Man World 1 boss from worst to best. Before I end the video, make sure you people out there check out the gameplay. All the gameplay links will be in the description in case you want to check out what these bosses actually are. And yeah, before that said, I really hope you people out there really enjoyed this video. I actually had fun making this. It kind of took me a while. I don't know why. I started recording this on Monday, August 15, and by the time you're watching this video is Wednesday, August 17. Or any other day when you watch this video. With all that said, I hope you people out there have a fantastic day, and I'll see you in the next one.